Uh, Hello, dear friends. Let's get started. It's time. So first of all, I'd like to ask how many students are there in your group? Should we wait for more people? There are only 16 attendants now, so excluding me, there must be 15. So how many people are in the group? 17. Ah, perfect. So then we have almost everybody here. Great. So another thing that actually let's try to do this from the first class. I would really like to see your faces because I'm pretty full of speaking to, these blue circles. And I really want to see you. Please turn on your cameras. Great. So Ekaterina is the first. Um,
I'm trying to hit.
Is it okay to turn on the camera on the next lesson because I don't have a laptop with me
Well,
just
please
now?
do this at least for the next lesson, but if you have your cameras today, I would really appreciate this. I really want to talk to real people, not to black squares and not to blue circles, and not to some unknown names. I did this last year, and I fed up of this. So and also it's much better when you have some interaction with people, not with your laptop. Margarita, great. So who else, guys? So there are more of you. Please turn on your cameras. Come on, show yourselves. Can see you. Alexandra, nice to see you. One more thing I want to ask, probably for Chinese students. So please, I apologize that for me it's kind of difficult to know how to pronounce your names when they're written in English. So if I'm somehow wrong in the pronunciation, just let me know and correct me. I will try to do my best. So we actually start working with you right now, and we hopefully will work for the whole year. So this semester I teach two subjects for you. It's probability and intermediate microeconomics. So the next semester I'm gonna teach the continuation of probability. There are gonna be mathematical statistics and econometrics. I'm not sure about microeconomics, so it used to be a two-semester course. So what about now? I don't know. I mean, so probably it would be one semester course. I need to figure this out because everything changes. Uh, doesn't matter still. We have a long way in front of us, and so we need to know each other. And as I said, please correct me if I would be reading your names a bit wrong. So what about Vlad, Olga, Daria, Hazel, whoever it is, Young Zheng?
About
So please.
cameras?
Yes, yes. Ah, Vlad. Okay, so I heard from you that you don't have camera now.
Yes.
Other people, so they're still. I know that other professors probably didn't ask you to do this, but I would. Okay, so
We're
if
all
other.
also here, but there is a difficulty with our web cameras. Please, we will fix it till the next lesson. Is it okay for you?
Please do this. Yes, so probably for you it's kind of surprise, and I cannot insist on this today. But next meeting, which is gonna be when next Thursday, I would really like to see all of you fix all your
Okay, thank you.
troubles. And so it was more than 1 year of online studies, so you must have everything working. Okay, good. So let me introduce myself and let me introduce the subject. Just a second. I'll turn on screen sharing. I will open my slide. Yes, here it is. So today we have two lessons, two lectures. One is going to be about probability, that's one course. Another one is going to be about intermediate microeconomics, that's another course. So actually these two courses are completely different to each other, and they're going to be, we are going to talk about different things. But still there is some, let's say, coincidence between them, which we will see in the econometrics course. So we will combine both things together somehow. So some organizational things before we start. So who I am. My name is Denis Alexeyev. I've got my first degree, postgraduate degree, so which is called in Russian candidates of science. So we usually call this in English PhD in finance. I've got this from Baikal State University in Irkutsk. I used to teach there for something like more than 10 years. And then I decided to continue my scientific career and my doctoral studies abroad. So now I'm starting my 5th year of doing PhD in Prague. So I'm still in the process of getting my degree here. It's about economics, so somehow different fields, finance and economics. But as you may guess from my degree, so the field of my primary interests lies somewhere in between, right? So I work in finance, and I'm usually trying to apply all my knowledge in finance, in stock market, financial markets, financial analysis, and all the related things. And on the other hand, I'm also trying to work in the field of microeconomics and industrial organization, and all of this is somehow spiced with the data analysis, which in my opinion is one of the most important skills that nowadays economists must have. So let me work on this a little bit more. Why do you have this course probability in your curricula? And actually you may wonder, so why on earth we as economists need to know something about probability? We need to know about statistics and all these very complicated things that probably we've heard about in our primary school. And I would tell you, so in a minute we will start talking about economic concepts, but so now I can tell you that the whole field of data analysis that is nowadays kind of developing, and which is applied in many different fields in economics, finance, physics, social sciences, marketing, whatever. All of these methods are built on the probability and statistics. So you probably had this experience when, well, you typed some message to your friend about, well, I don't know, about something, and then immediately next day you have the advertising about this thing. So I had this experience many times, and actually this works with the help of data analysis, and the data analysis is built upon the probability theory. So that's why we are starting from the basis, we are starting from the very beginning, some ground for data analysis, and then we move on to some applied things. So I hope that by the end of this long string of subjects, probability, mathematical statistics, econometrics, and probably econometrics too, in the next year of your studies, you will know at least something how to analyze data, how to derive some, let's say, connections between things, how to predict the behavior of agents, of consumers, of firms, of stock traders, and based on those predictions, how to make decisions, which is quite important thing. So that's about the place of this subject. So speaking about the most interesting thing, because students usually want to know about this more than about the subject itself. So how to obtain the grade and how to successfully pass this course. There are two different options, and please let's agree right from the beginning about this. And please don't ask me questions when when our course is about to finish. So this rule is gonna be set right now, and this rule is gonna be fixed for the whole course. You have two different ways how you can obtain your 100% grade. Two different options. So one option is to get your 100% or less, I mean at most 100%, with the help of home assignments that I will give you during the course. It depends how many of these assignments I will give you. I mean, it depends on our pace, so how fast we are gonna move throughout the course. But you can expect something like 6-7 home assignments, maybe more, maybe 8. They are not counted in a way that, well, each home assignment has some particular point. Rather, after the whole course, I just recalculate with the respect of 100%, recalculate the grade. I mean, okay, so let's say there are 7 home assignments, 10 points. It means in total you have 70%. Then I proportionally recalculate how much do you have, how many points do you have with respect to 100%. So what's that like? Your points times 100 divided by 70, right? So that's how I will calculate your grade. If there are gonna be 8 home assignments, I will recalculate this respectfully, right? So I will recalculate this like your points times 100 divided by 80. If there are gonna be 9 home assignments, your points times 90 divided by 100. And that's how I will calculate your final grade. That's one way how you can obtain the grade. Another way, which is completely independent, is to do two things. To write the midterm. Midterm is gonna happen somewhere in the middle, as the name says. So at the end of October. Plus final at the end of the course, 60%. Last years showed that people usually have some troubles here. Why? They skip the whole course. I mean, they did nothing throughout the course. Then they come to the final, and the final gives you only 60%. Which means what? If you don't have anything, if you don't have midterm, if you don't have home assignments, then the only way how you can pass this course is to get something like 41% out of 60%, which means that you need to do your final really nice, right? Because out of 60%, more than 41 is more than half, right? So even more than, how much is that? Like 60%. And not many people who skipped the whole course, and not many people who kind of did nothing throughout the course are able to do this. And then they're immediately starting to complain, well, we want to retake our home assignments, we want to retake the midterm, and I usually don't give them this opportunity. Which means that let's agree from the very beginning that if you really want to pass this course without any problems, I mean, if you are not interested in probability, data analysis, and you don't know why you are here, but you really need to have some grade to get your diploma, please, right from the beginning, do all the tasks. Don't wait until the final. Because when you come to the final, you are gonna be in trouble. And I am not kind of making you afraid of this. This is my experience from previous 2 years of working with students from BRICS. They usually have, not all of them, I mean, of course, so those who are kind of working, they're getting everything almost without any problems. But those who are not, they usually have some issues here. Once again, as I said, midterm is gonna be somewhere at the end of October. If you already know your plans for the end of October, I mean, so probably you want to, I don't know, you are planning to break your leg and be in the hospital, or you are planning to, I don't know, have a wedding those days and you cannot attend midterm. So please plan in advance that something would happen and let me know. It usually works. It usually works when the person says, well, I have something that day, could I please take the midterm later? We can find some way to do this. But if you come in the end of December with this question, of course, I cannot do anything for you with this respect. So this is very important thing, as I said. Any questions here? Do you have any clarifications about the grades?
Yes.
Please.
Do we have a credit or an exam, like a mark?
I need to see your curricula. Actually, I haven't seen this and I'm not sure what do you have. It is probably credit. But last year it was credit for sure. I don't know what, maybe they changed something. I will try to clarify this and I will let you know next lecture. Because yes, for me, so, and for the, with respect to the grading system, it doesn't matter. I mean, so there is still 100% to be received. For you, it does matter because, of course, if it's credit, so for you, it's enough to have more than 50% to pass. Yeah, I completely forgot one thing. Sorry. I will probably write this down. I forgot to put this on the slide, but so let me write this separately. Which is actually, so it's you can use the same for all of my subjects because I'm not changing the system for some specific subject. It's gonna be valid for probability and also for microeconomics. So one thing. So for credit, if it's credit, I have usually this. So you pass if you have more than 50%. So look that this is really more than 50%, it's not just 50%, so 51 and more. And for the exam, I usually have this grading system. So excellent. If you have 90 to 100%, actually 91. Good if you have 71 to 90%, including, and satisfactory if you have 50 to 71. Wait, 51 to 70%. Yeah, so that's important thing, and I apologize that I forgot to put this on the slide. So if you have credit for my subject, you pass with more than 50%. If you have an exam, so here is the way how I grade all these things. So basically I can write something, for those who know mathematics, I can write something like this. So it's from 90 not included to 100 included, from 70 not included to 90% included, and from 50 to 70% included. So that would be a fair point, because if you have something like 90.1, this gives you excellent. If you have like 89.9, it gives you good.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put this on the slide when I publish this. Any other questions and clarifications regarding the grading system?
I have a question. How, not about credit system, but how we can call you? Like
How you can what?
prefer to call you. Like
Just
if you
Dennis,
want to ask
it
you
would be okay,
something.
because since we are speaking in English and we are doing classes in English, and so in English culture there are no like this father's name. You can call me just by name. That's okay. Don't worry about this. I know that this is somehow like cultural difference, and there are like probably some tension. So if you would like to write me in Russian, so probably it would be better to use like Russian way of addressing me. If it's English, so name is okay. I don't mind. Any other questions about grades? So I really hope that all of you will somehow memorize this. So this is in the slide. I will share with you the slides. I will update the slides with respect to this information, what's there. And whenever you ask me, oh my God, so how can we get 100% for your subject? I will just send you to the slides, because once again, this is my experience. Students in the past, they've been asking me about their grades constantly, especially when the closer the exam date is, the more questions I'm getting from them. And all these questions are not about my subject itself and not about the essence of the subject, but about, oh, we don't have enough points. What should we do? And so on.
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, we can just choose one of the way, or all of us need to write midterm and final test.
Fair point. Look, this is one of two ways. So you may take home assignments and like do all the home assignments till the end and get your 100%. Or you can take midterm and final. But here is for some students last year, there was a trouble. And the trouble was the following. They decided to choose the first option and they missed the midterm. And when at the end of the course, they realized that they don't have enough points with their home assignments, they decided to switch to the second option. But they didn't have a midterm. And that is why their final could give them only 60% at most. That's why probably, even if you count on home assignments only, it would be good to do the midterm just to have, let's say, some insurance for the future, right? Okay. Because for me, it doesn't matter. I mean, so how I calculate your grade? So I will be very clear for you. So your grade is gonna be like the following. So for each person, I calculate points. Let's say, I don't know, X is the sum of points from home assignments, and Y is gonna be points from midterm plus final. I do the following. So your grade is equal to the maximum of them. So X and Y. Whatever is bigger, I just give you this point. Right? So I don't add home assignments to your final grade, I mean to the grade from the exam. No, it's not possible, because otherwise you will have a possibility to get 200%, which is, I think, not fair. I either have these or these, and I'm taking maximum of them too, of these two numbers. So that's why, since the midterm is in the middle and you don't know what would happen with you after the midterm, so probably it would be fair to write the midterm for all of you, right? So even if you want to do home assignments only, write the midterm to have some kind of insurance and insurance option. That's what I recommend you to do. So, and now I will explain you how this works. So basically, I think that those of you who are really willing to study, so for you it's not gonna be that problematic. So I will demonstrate you how your home assignments would look like, and how the midterm and final would look like, such that you know this in advance and you know what to expect from me. So here, course page. I did a request to create this course page for the IT department. I'm still waiting for their response. That's why it's going to be announced. But actually it's gonna be something like this. So you are familiar to this electronic university page, I hope. And so from the last year I have this page of mathematical statistics, for example. And I can just show you how the home assignment looks like. So this was one of the home assignments. And so just let me take one of the students, like Rodion, let's say. So there are gonna be some exercises usually. So you have an exercise, you have some task, you have plenty of time, you put your answer here, so don't be afraid. So probably this looks now very, let's say, very nasty, but in 5 weeks you will know how to deal with all these things easily. So you have this task, and so probably I can even do like this. Okay, so the task would look something like, just a second. Yeah, so the task would look like this. So there is some task, and you need to fill here your answer. You are calculating something on the piece of paper, right? So you're writing your solution, then you have some answer, and then you put your answer here. So for example, I don't know, 0.5. I'm just doing this, randomly. Then you are doing the next task, next. Then finally you submit your solution, and the system says, well, this was correct or this was not correct. And after the home assignment is finished for all of you, I mean, there's gonna be some exact time period, for example, from the 1st of September till the 10th of September, right? So on 10th of September, home assignment is closed. You don't have any chance to do this anymore. On the other hand, you will have a solution. You will see what was the correct way to solve this task. So you don't need to kind of ask me what was the correct way to solve this, because everything is written here. So I've put a lot of efforts to prepare this, to somehow, to make our communication during the online classes, let's say, less problematic. So you have the solution, you have the correct answer, and then the important thing comes in. You have your solution written on the paper. You have this solution. The system grades you only based on the answer, which is probably not fair, because if your process was correct, but somewhere in the middle of the process you've made a mistake, maybe I can give you half of the point, but the system does not see your solution, right? Because the system grades you only based on the answer. At this only point, you can write me a message that, well, I see that my process was correct, but at this point I've made a mistake. And I can go to your home assignment, I can check what was your process, and I can give you some extra points for this, let's say, correct process, even though there is no correct answer. Is this clear how it works? So you will try this. I mean, this is simple, and everything for the successful home assignments and this, to pass them successfully, would be available. The only one thing, how I can, or how you can prove that the solution that you are showing me after you have the correct solution was written during the home assignment, right? So that's a fair question. So probably you may have this solution, you may rewrite this solution and then send me and claim, well, my solution was correct, but I have made a mistake here. Well, that works in this way. I will also show you. With your home assignment, so you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say, tasks in this home assignment. And then as the last task, you need to submit your solution, your written solution. And I will see how exactly you have solved this. So for example, here, that's what Radion submitted. So he submitted his solution written by hand. And I can see what he has done during his home assignment. If I don't have submitted solution, then the whole home assignment is not graded at all. Why? Because you cannot prove that this was you who, that were you who actually produced that home assignment. So closer to the home assignment, I will explain you one more about this. And so the first home assignment is gonna be probably somehow like demo version. But that's how it works. Moreover, so what is important here? Usually I create midterm and final based on your tasks from home assignments. And look what you have. You have weekly home assignments and you have solutions for these home assignments. And then these tasks might appear on your midterm and final with different numbers, of course. So, I mean, the task might be similar, but numbers might be different. But you have the whole explanation how to solve this exercise. And in my opinion, there must not be any problem to make a midterm and final with the excellent grade, since you have everything in front of you, right? So I hope that this would work. Once again, coming back to the course, so you will have the similar course page for the probability. So next semester I will enroll you to this course of mathematical statistics. So as soon as we have this course page, I will enroll you there. You will see this course somewhere. So when you click home, you usually have here something like my courses, and in these my courses you probably will find yes, your courses here, right? While you are enrolled, and I will put there all my lectures, so these lecture slides are gonna appear on that course page. I will put there all the home assignments, books, so recommended books for this course are also gonna be there, and so everything we need. So probably there are gonna be, yeah, one additional thing. Your exercise sessions are gonna be taught by Klim, I think. Yes. So he has these exercise sessions on Saturday, and during those exercise sessions, as the name suggests, you will be doing a lot of exercises. So you will be solving some problems with him. And then after the home assignment, I will publish on the course page those exercises with some suggested solutions. So also you will have the tasks from the exercise sessions, solutions. And after the exercise session, you will be getting your home assignments. So which means that on the exercise sessions, you should be very attentive and very active to kind of understand what's going on, because all you will have on the exercise session might appear on the home assignments. So the whole logic works like this. I'm explaining you some concepts on the lecture. Then on the exercise session, Klim works with you and he shows you how to deal with some particular problems, how to solve some exercises, some tasks. And then the home assignment that gives you a chance to check your knowledge and check whether you understand or not. Last thing about home assignments and about grades. Home assignments have only one attempt, so you cannot retake home assignment. And don't panic if you fail one home assignment. So the weight of one home assignment is not that great. I mean, so if you are doing well for all the home assignments and only one home assignment has been failed, it's not a big deal. So don't write me some panic messages like, oh my God, I've got like half of my points from the home assignment and I'm so frustrated, I don't know what to do. So the world is gonna crash and so on. I'm gonna cry the whole night. So it's not a big deal. So if you fail midterm, yes, it's a big deal. If you fail one of the home assignments, not a big problem. Don't worry about that. So you can make up in the following home assignments. Okay, so I stopped talking here, and if there are more organizational questions and clarifications, so let's discuss them. Otherwise, we will start our main material from this subject.
One more question. So we will have only one midterm and only one final. Like you have place of the subject in the curricular, like probability, mathematical statistics, econometrics, and econometrics second. In each section we will have midterm and final, or only one time.
This is my usual grading system for all subjects. I mean, so in parallel, so next lecture is going to be intermediate microeconomics, and the grading system is going to be identical.
No, I mean we'll have separately probability.
Wait. So these are 4 courses. These are not topics. I mean, so probability is the course taken in this semester. Next semester we have another course which is called mathematical statistics, and it's going to be separate course with separate grade, or like there is going to be an exam most probably, but the grading system is going to be similar: home assignments, midterms, finals, and stuff.
Okay.
Econometrics similar thing. So this is just, this is to explain you how probability is linked to your future. So why you need probability now? Because in the next course, mathematical statistics will build all the things on the probability. When we start econometrics is going to be built on probability and mathematical statistics. Econometrics 2 follows these three subjects. So that's a logic of the whole, let's say, sequence of these subjects. Okay? And each subject has its own similar grading system. Completely same. Okay, more questions?
No, I think.
Okay, so guys, please don't be shy of asking me questions. I mean, if these questions are reasonable. Of course, sometimes students take it literally and they start asking me some, I don't know, what's the weather outside of your window and so on. So these are not, let's say, the expected questions. But so basically, if you don't understand something, if you missed something from the material, don't be shy of asking me. It's better to clarify something right now instead of waiting till the final and then come into the situation when you cannot change anything with me or with your understanding. So probably it's not.
I have one more question.
Great, go on.
How we can contact with you? Like, if we have any questions, we can
So
write
look,
you in
I
WhatsApp.
prefer to communicate, and actually I usually communicate using this platform. So any kind of questions related to the subject, to the studies, so you can just write me a message here. And usually I respond, so probably not immediately, but within one day I will respond. So you see that, so some students are writing me here, so I failed the previous exam, how can I make up the exam, and so on. Because so last year, several students, so you see my number in the WhatsApp group, of course. I mean, so that number that I'm using to send you these links to our meetings. And some students take this somehow literally, okay, so we know his number, so we probably can write him in the middle of the night about our problems with the midterm, and they start asking me, well, when do we have the retake of our final or something like that? And I don't respond. I don't respond to WhatsApp messages from students. So you can write me, I mean, so I will just probably, I don't know, send you to the blacklist after like 3 or 4 messages, annoying messages. But I don't respond on WhatsApp messages. I do respond to the messages from this platform. I mean, so no blacklists are here, and this platform is created to our communication with respect to our studies. So that's why. Please, but okay, I mean, okay, so there might be some emergency. I don't know, something really bad happened, and there is a midterm, for example, in 1 hour. And I don't know, you've met your friend whom you haven't seen for like 10 years, and you really want to hang in some restaurant with that friend instead of writing my stupid midterm. And this is very big emergency, and you want to communicate with me as much as possible. So probably in this case, I would somehow tolerate a message for the WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp, but not the messages like, oh, I have trouble with my connection, I cannot do my home assignment, so what should I do? So that kind of messages I'm not taking into account on WhatsApp no more. If it's really, really urgent and you really need to kind of deliver me some message like in 5 minutes, so in this case, you may use WhatsApp as, the last resort. Otherwise, please use this platform. So it's kind of simple. In every course that you are enrolled to, you may find the participants. So like, I don't know, intermediate microeconomics, for instance. So there is, so here either online students, or here is gonna be something like participants. Where is that? So users, yeah. And in the user list, you usually may find my name. There is gonna be this pictogram, and just write me a message. Okay.
And we will have only online lessons with you.
With me, yes. Unfortunately, we have something like 5,000 kilometers between us, and due to COVID and my involvement in the PhD studies, I don't have any chance to come to Irkutsk, at least till the new year. So we'll see what would be the next year. So now this is the only way.
Okay.
More questions?
Yes, hello. Yes,
Hi.
yes, sir. I would like to ask your email, and is our homework directly sent to your email, right?
No. Once again,
No.
even if you find my email anywhere, some students manage to do this. So probably I somehow spoiled my email somewhere on the internet. I'm not. So let me clarify once again how this works. So you have a home assignment. Well, okay. So microeconomics is the same. So in each home assignment, you have. So let me show you. Let me demonstrate you this real way.
Yes, is that only home assignment on the website, right?
What?
It's only the home
Home
assignment
assignments
on
are
the
going to
website.
be taken only here. So you do all the home assignments here.
Okay.
Yes.
I
I want just to demonstrate you how this works, you know, to avoid all questions here. So for instance,
No,
you have the
just the
home
point
assignment.
is,
And look, so you go to this home assignment, you have some tasks. You have a task, you calculate something, you put there some number. So then you have another task, you have time here ticking. I mean, so that you need to finish your, so there's another answer. So you calculate doing something, blah, blah, blah. You go to the next attempt. So something is here. You go to the next attempt. And look, so here, usually in the home assignment, as the last task, you have this. Please attach your solution as a PDF, JPEG, or docx file. It means what? You are writing your solution on the paper while you are doing your home assignment. You put all the numbers, all the answers to these tasks here. And then at the end of the home assignment, you need to upload. So here you can drag and drop files to add them, or there must be some button with, well, it's usually drag and drop, right? Or you can upload like this, in this way. You upload your solution. So no need to use my email to send me home assignment. So everything is gonna be based on this site, on this web page. And if you miss this point, this is probably the last thing from the experience of your kind of your older fellows. So usually people leave not much time for this moment. So they probably are doing everything. They leave 1 minute to attach the solution. And of course, in 1 minute, they fail to do this. And then they immediately start kind of asking me, well, what can we do? Where can we upload our solutions and so on? So please manage your time wisely. So manage your time such that you have enough time to make a photo, to somehow attach this to the, I don't know, to transfer this to your computer and to attach this to the solution. So probably it takes something like 5 minutes. Maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, depends on your skills. But please don't forget about this point. This is crucial, because if you don't have a solution, I don't take your I don't take your attempt, because without solution you cannot prove that this was you who made this. So the funniest thing, when students, after the whole year of working with me in this way, they do this fault in their final several times. And especially when they are getting something like second attempt of the final. They are writing, well, we forgot about this fact that we need to attach the solution. So guys, you had the whole year of home assignments in this way. This is your second attempt of your final exam. Why on earth you forgot about this? So, and after you can write some comments here, blah, blah, blah. But what I expect from you, not these comments, blah, 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 but exactly the solution attached. And then you just finish the attempt. And after finishing the attempt, you see something like this. You see that, well, so yes, because I'm doing this as the teacher. Yes, you have here mark, right? So 0 out of 3. So that's your grade. And after the home assignment is completely closed, you will also see the solutions. So the solutions are not seen right after the home assignment, but after the time when the home assignment is closed for an access. Katerina, so it's really cold in Irkutsk. So you're waiting for the heating to be turned on. Okay, guys, any more questions about home assignments? How they work? I demonstrated you myself everything. So now I hope that you will not have any troubles with that. I will make you some demonstration home assignment. You see that there is a demo home assignment for microeconomics. So you will have a chance to take this demo and to somehow make you familiar to this system, which is, so this home assignment is not counted. So you will have a chance to try this one. Okay. I'm just afraid that next class we will have students from management together with you, and I will be explaining something like similar things twice. So that's why for you it would be the second chance to listen to me and to listen to all these requirements. So let's go to some essence of this topic or of this subject. At least we have half an hour, and I need to give you some knowledge today such that you can do something on your exercise session on Saturday. So what are we gonna speak about? So not in this particular subject, but in the whole sequence of these subjects. As I said, econometrics, statistics are based on probability, and econometrics and statistics, they are more applied than probability, of course. But probability is a basis, so we really need to understand what's happening here and what is the probability theory, how this works before stepping to some advanced things. So here is the famous, probably not famous for everyone, data scientist Edward Denning, who said that without data you're just another person with an opinion. So what does this mean? It means that, so when you want to justify some decision in the business, I mean, in real life, you may justify your decision anyhow. So you can justify, well, I want to, I don't know, go to the university and study arts or economics or music just because I want. And that would be totally okay for you. I mean, so you have an opinion that this is a nice thing to do, and so nobody cares. When you need to make some decisions in economic sense, you really need to build these decisions upon something, some solid ground. So, for example, when you need to spend your money on something, when you need to invest somewhere, when you need to save money for your future, or when you need to, well, choose which insurance company is the best. So probably opinion is not the best base to make this decision, right? So you need to have some data to justify your opinion. Well, probably you already have heard about stock market, and there are different stocks out there. There are like international companies like Facebook, Tesla, Amazon, General Electric, Boeing, Airbus. So there are some Chinese companies like Xiaomi, Taobao, what else? Alibaba, different banks, China Construction Bank or some other companies. There are Russian companies, Gazprom, Aeroflot, Novatek, Norilsk Nickel, and so on. And so how to choose out of those stocks? Which stocks are better? Is it only about opinion? So, I like Sberbank, so probably I would invest in their stocks. But why? I mean, so what's the justification for this decision? And the best justification is the data. So you need to collect some data, you need to collect some information, some numbers about this. And based on these numbers, you need to justify your decision somehow. And that's what we are gonna do. We are even gonna do more complicated things, not just, like justification of our decisions. So for example, assume that you're gonna work as the manager in some big bank. And you need to decide, should we decrease the interest rate for loans? Why? Because if I decrease the interest rate for loans, that probably I will attract more clients and our profits would increase. But I'm not sure. Because on the other hand, if I charge my clients less and they will pay me less, that probably my profits would be also less. So you see that there are two possible effects. I can attract more people, but on the other hand, I'm losing money. Would this additional inflow of clients substitute my losses from the reduction of interest rate? Or assume that you are not a manager in the bank, assume that you are the market specialist in some shop. And you are trying to make some, let's say, seasonal sales. And with the help of these seasonal sales, I mean, so you reduce price, you give some discounts to your clients. You also expect to attract more clients and increase your profits. And you need to think about, well, how much I need to reduce my price to attract enough clients to increase my profits. Because if the price decrease is going to be too large, I would probably lose a lot of money and I will not attract people. And you know that all these decisions, they are based not on just, well, as an expert, I think that probably we need to do this. No, because another expert will tell you completely opposite opinion. And both opinions are going to be correct. So you have probably heard about this as if you follow some news, some economic papers, probably, that there are like two smart guys sitting in front of each other, and one guy says, well, we expect that the exchange rate of Russian ruble against United States dollars is gonna increase next year, and another smart guy sits and says completely opposite, that, well, we expect that the exchange rate is going to decrease. And you are listening to this, oh my god, so they're like two smart guys and they are telling completely opposite thing. What should I expect? And you can somehow kind of solve this problem in the only way. Take numbers, use these numbers to justify your opinion. I hope that I somehow motivated you and provided you some necessity of not only probability course, as I said, because probability is only the ground for the future. So it is the ground for, let's say, the top of our cake of these data science subjects. Right? Is it somehow understandable? What are we talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so look, why do we need to know about probability? Why probability needed to work with data? Because look, we cannot build purely deterministic models of the economy. What does this mean, deterministic models? I cannot say, well, if I decrease price by 10%, my profit would increase by 1,952,000 rubles. I cannot tell this. Never it's possible. Why? Because I don't know exact increase. I can tell, well, if I reduce price by 10%, that probably with, I don't know, with 99% chance, the profits would increase from 500,000 to 1.5 million. Right? So that's a way we usually think, and that's a correct way. I never can deterministically predict future because it's future and it is influenced by many, many different factors. There is some uncertainty, and because of this uncertainty, we cannot predict future in a completely deterministic way. Even, you know, when you remember from your school, for example, when you have, I don't know, this time, velocity, and distance classical tasks. You know, like what is the velocity? That's distance divided by time. And then when the car rides with the velocity of like 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours, so what's going to be the distance covered by this car, right? So like 120 kilometers. But in real life, you never have this constant velocity. You never know what would be there. So probably there is going to be some traffic jam. So probably you lose time standing on some crossroads. So probably you will be hungry and you will stop somewhere at the gas station to get some coffee and croissant, and so on. So when you make some forecast, there is always some uncertainty. So here are some examples, some possible states of economy. We never know what's going to be the next year. Recession, depression, boom, whatever. Nobody could predict COVID and all these pandemics and all these nasty things are happening this year. Or stock price at a given time. Can you predict what's going to be the stock price tomorrow of Gazprom, Tesla, or some other company? You can say, well, it might be between this and this. So it might be in some interval with some chance, but not exactly. Or profits of a firm next year. So now I want to do some activity. So here we have this QR code. So please use your phones to scan this QR code. Or if you don't have a QR code reader, so go to this link. Go to this site, menti.com, and use this code.
May you send to us this?
Yes, I can
site
send
in
to the
chat.
chat. Yes. or you can, as I said, you can use the QR code. So there are going to be two questions. So please don't go to the second one. So please open only the first page now. On the first page, you are asked to provide some example on these sources of uncertainty in economy. So give some example. So I gave you 3 examples: possible states of economy, stock price at a given year, profits of a firm. What else in the economy we cannot predict with the 100% certainty? So what else is forecasted or predicted for the future with a given degree of uncertainty? And I will open this site now. To see your responses. So you will see your responses here on the screen, and we will somehow discuss what's there. Well, we have one response: housing price. Nice. We don't know. When I rent a flat or when I want to buy a flat, I never know what's going to be the price of a house. Stock market. Perfect. Bets. Well, yes. When you're risky person, currency exchange rate. Great. Virtual digital currency. Well, something like currency exchange rate. So Bitcoins, all these Ethereums, all the other things. So actually my friend, so financial accounting, what financial accounting in a company? Well, to some extent, yes. So current financial accounting involves some degree of uncertainty. Commodity prices, yes. So one of my friends, just as a kind of joke, he invested in a newly established this blockchain currency, which was called Dogecoin. So it was established here in Prague, and actually it was just some joke. So he invested something like 200 Czech crowns, so it's like 600 rubles, so it's almost nothing. I mean, $10. And in the next month, so it dropped from 200 to like 100, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so successful investor." So my investment went down by 50%. Yeah. So anybody else want to share his or her ideas? Because we have much more people, only 7 responses. Okay, nobody. Okay, good. There is going to be the second question on this platform, so that's why I probably don't limited resources. Well, maybe, yeah. So what do we see? So probably we don't know how much oil does each country has, and does each country have, and what are going to be the deposits of those limited resources, and so on. So thanks for your responses. So you see that there is a lot of uncertainty around us, and we need to know at least some way how to model all these concepts, how to deal with them. Oh my God, so somebody responded in so long way. Fair and legitimate trade contract should be what? Should be mutual willingness to real reflected. Guys, I'm really asking you not to use some kind of like Google Translate or whatever, because when I'm reading this, it's so it's better to be simpler, you know, than doing something like that. Okay, so let's move to our lecture. So you see that a lot of concepts involve uncertainty, and as I said, we need to know how to model this uncertainty. So what is probability, and what do we usually mean when we speak about probability? So there are different, let's say, approaches how to, so, and actually when we speak probability, we usually mean different things. So for example, there is a John Maynard Keynes, you probably know who is this guy, and he called probability as the intensity of belief. This is something like how likely. So for example, you can tell to your friend, well, there is 90% chance that on Saturday I will be sitting and studying this lovely probability course instead of going with you to the club. So what does this mean? It means that you are really sure that you will do something and will not do another thing. So it's about likelihood. It's about your belief. Or you may tell, well, there is like 50% chance that I will attend the next lesson. What does this mean? It means that you don't know whether you attend or not, and you are somehow indecisive about this. So that's one meaning that we use when we speak about probability. Another meaning is the relative frequency. So it was formulated by Richard von Mises. And this is something like how often. So for example, we can tell, well, the probability of a worst, I don't know, the probability to die from COVID infection is, I don't know how much, like 1%. So what it means? It means that 1% of people who've got this COVID disease died. And that's how often people die from this disease. Or probability to be deceased with the COVID, so probability to catch COVID after a vaccination, for example, is, I don't know, like 0.01%. I don't know this number, so I'm just coming up with some numbers. What does this mean? It means not about your belief, it's about the observation and how often people who are vaccinated got this infection. So it's something completely different if you think about this, and we are speaking about the same thing, about probability. In one way, we are speaking about our belief. I believe that this is likely to be in this way, like 99%. In the other usage, we speak about something like how often some event happens. And this was problematic for a long time. After Russian mathematician Andrei Kolmogorov formulated something like an axiomatic system of probability. And that's what we are gonna study here. We are not gonna study something like beliefs, because beliefs are different for different people. We most probably speak about relative frequencies in our statistics course in the next semester, how to calculate this, let's say, frequency of occurrences. And here we will study this axiomatic system. So something which is not connected to people beliefs, and something which is not connected with the relative frequencies. So how probability theory is related to statistics? Several things here. If you want to give some conclusion or make some decision, we need to run an experiment. So what does this mean? Okay, so some company, pharmaceutical company, invented a vaccine against COVID-19. They want to know whether it's efficient or not. How should they do this? They cannot, so usually they're running what is called experiment. They are asking for volunteers who want to participate in this experiment. These participants are coming and then they are randomly assigned. So this group of people randomly chosen will get this vaccine. Another group will get a placebo, and this group will not know about this fact. This group would think that this group would not know about whether they are vaccinated or whether they have this placebo. And the third group will have nothing. And all the participants in this group must be assigned randomly because it's an experiment. And we don't know, so every experiment is characterized with the uncertain outcome. We don't know what would be. We don't know whether our vaccine would be efficient or not, and to which extent. And then if we see, using some techniques which are developed in statistics, if we see that the group who've got this vaccine shows, let's say, the better signs that the group is the placebo and that the group which did not have a vaccine, then we can produce a conclusion that the vaccine is efficient. That's how it works. One problem in economics, we usually cannot make experiments. And that's going to be the problem which we will try to solve in econometrics course. How without experiment to say about the efficiency of some decisions. So yes, it means that before going to statistics, we need to have a solid background in probability, which we are about to start. Maybe here we have some questions and clarifications. So just let's stop for a moment.
No
Guys,
question.
those who turned off their cameras, are you still alive?
Yes, I'm sorry, I have problems with my phone, so I just turned off the camera because I have the low battery, so I need to charge my phone and I can't stand make it stop, so I'm
I
sorry.
see. What about others? Dmitry, because I can see that you are sitting somehow in the dark, so you're not sleeping, right? You're listening.
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. So nice. Okay, no questions here. We can continue. It's just, the big picture. So why we are studying statistics, or why we are studying probability. Why do we need this? Okay, let's start with something, let's say, more related to the probability. So we need to start with something which is called set. So set is not a verb, set here is the noun. So what is a set? A set is a collection of objects that we call elements. So it's just some collection, right? So any collection of distinct elements may be called set. So for example, here we have a set of students of the size, how many there are of you? So 17 people, right? So a set of 17 students. This is a collection of some elements. So some notation, we will use capital letters A, B, C, capitals, or maybe some Greek capital letters to denote sets. So any collection in hand will be denoted with these capital letters. So if the elements in the set A are, let's say, A1 and 2 and A3, we will write something like this. So this is a notation that the set A consists of 3 elements in these curly brackets, A1, A2, and A3. So basically the idea of set is going to be used also in microeconomics today from the first lecture. So some examples, just brief examples. So let's say set A consists of companies that have common stocks traded on Moscow Exchange, 210 elements. So I will just demonstrate you. So we go to the Moscow Exchange internet site. So we switch to English. We go to the, where is that? Second, so there must be market data, I guess. Yeah, so we go to market data, we go to indices, then we go to equity indices. Wait, it's not about indices yet. Yes, so it's about securities. Yes, so we go to securities market, so we go to the instruments, we tick here common stocks, and voila, we have here 210 companies. And here we have all these tickers, Abrauderso, ASCO, FK Sistema, Aeroflot, and so on. So all these elements, all these 210 companies have their stocks on the Moscow Exchange. And so this set has, I decided not to put all these 210 elements to the set, but you get the point, right? So all these elements are included in set A. So let's say set B is a set of companies included in the Moscow Exchange Index, which consists of 44 elements. And so here in the indices, I can go, so here, Moscow Exchange Index. So here I have constituents. And here I have the full list of 44 companies included in the Moscow Exchange Index. Here. Okay. 44 companies in the Moscow Exchange Index. So out of those 210, I have 44 companies. So you see that, for example, Abrauderso is not here, Akron is not here, but FK Sistema, Aeroflot, 5, Gazprom, Norilsk Nickel are the elements of this set. Another set is a set of companies included in the MOEX Blue Chips Index. There are like only 15 elements, and we can open this and see it here. So constituents of Blue Chip Index is 15 companies. So no Aeroflot here, no AFK Sistema. So we have 5, we have Gazprom, we have Norilsk Nickel, who are the elements of this set. So once again, set is something simple, so nothing difficult in set. Set is just a collection of some elements. All of those elements are unique. So we don't usually include twice some company in the set, right? Kind of simple thing. A subset, as you may guess, a subset is the part of some other set. So formal definition is if each element of a set A is also an element of set B, the set A is called a subset of set B. So which means, once again, which means what? All elements of A are included into the set B. Therefore, we call A a subset of set B. And we usually denote this in the following way. So A is a subset of B with this sign. And there is some, let's say, continuation of this. If A is a subset of B, and at the same time B is a subset of A, then to have two sets have the same elements, and this is indicated by the equality of sets. So set A is equal to set B. They are the same, right? Because this is a pure logic. It's not a mathematics, right? Just logically thinking. if all elements of A included in B and all elements of B are included in A, then these two sets are similar. So from the previous slide, for instance, we have these three sets, all stocks on the Moscow Exchange, stocks from the Moscow Exchange Index, and blue chips. So what we have B is a subset of A, because all companies in the Moscow Exchange Index, they have their stocks on the Moscow Exchange. C, blue chips, is a subset of A. All blue chips have their stocks on the Moscow Exchange. And C is a subset of B. All blue chips are included in the Moscow Exchange. Once again, this is more not like a mathematics. This is more like logic. Formal logic that is needed, really needed to deal with the probability. So on the Mentimeter, there on that page, we had another page. So please go there once again to the second page and give me some examples of set and subsets. And that would probably be the last thing for this lecture for today.
One of them, which side do we need to attempt?
So
to
just
find
some
set?
example of set and subset. So for example, I don't know, like don't use this example. I will give you this example myself. So we have a set of students, EAB 20. There is a subset of girls in this set. Something like this. So give me some collection of elements and try to take some part of this collection of elements with respect to some criteria. Like I showed you in my slide. So there is a whole universe of stocks on Russian exchange, and there is the smaller. Okay, so nice way to show A is a set of 1 to 3, B is 2, B is a subset of A. Good example. So you may come up with some word explanation if you want. Yes, nice example as well. So Business Institute of BRICS, students, all students of BRICS, and subset are just groups of economists, journalists, managers, ecologists. Currencies is a subset of alternative cryptographic account. Okay, yes, a set of cryptographic currencies, and one of them is the subset.
Not one of them, but the group.
Yeah. Animals is a set, cats and dogs is a subset. Perfect. Okay, another mathematical formal example. A is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. B is 1 and 3. B belongs to A. Yes, great. So anybody else wants to share? Set cars, subset Audi, BMW, Ford, etc. That's true. Yes. But try to be more precise. When you are saying about set cars, then subset are all cars produced by Audi, or all cars produced by BMW, all cars produced by Ford. I mean, okay, so there is not much space to write about this, but still we are speaking about elements, right? BRICS countries, well, And what is a set? Let's say set is the all countries in the world, and subset is the BRICS countries, right? It would be better to say how many, like there are 200 something countries in the world, and 5 countries are BRICS countries in this subset. Okay, great, guys. So let's stop here. Thanks for your responses. Thanks for your participation. We will continue talking about this set theory next week. In your exercise session, you will probably, so you will not probably, but you will have some exercises how to identify sets, subsets, and some operations over sets, because I didn't have enough time to do with you all these things, like next things like union and intersection of sets. But actually, I think that probably you've heard about this from your school. It's not that difficult. And just, you know, to warm up our brains from the summer, we are starting with that simple topic. Okay, so don't disconnect, please, from this session. I think we can stay here, and I think that we can continue in 15 minutes with microeconomics. I will invite students of management to join this session. So see you in 15 minutes.